welcome. In our Ghosh 60-minute class, we're going to be working with the spine and having a steady and smooth breath as our priority. Our focus is on a nice alignment for a sustainable practice over pushing into any force or depth that takes us out of that lovely foundational alignment. So letting your breath be your guide in our practice. Letting my cues, my verbal cues guide you, but trusting yourself to feel the movements. So if there's any little adjustments you want to take that suit your body right now, then please take them. Get the body moving and have some fun. The feet, we find a place where they can ground down to feel a gentle lift out of the way. So feet might be together, they might be apart, maybe up to hip distance apart or somewhere in between. Fingers interlaced underneath the chin and thumbs to the throat. We're standing deep breathing. To begin, we inhale through the nose, stretch the elbows widen up towards the ceiling, expand the chest, fill up the lungs completely. Exhale out the mouth. Lift the chest, lift the chin away from the chest, relax the head back. Hands come together, wrists touch, elbows might touch as the lungs empty. Inhale, head comes down. Soften the shoulders, elbows widen up, the chin parallel to the floor. Keep pushing the floor away with the heels. Exhale out the mouth. Lift the chest, lift the chin away from the chest. Feel the lengthening of the torso as the palms come together, and elbows might touch as the lungs empty. Inhale, head down. We want the belly to stay fairly relaxed, but focus on expanding the lungs, the rib cage. Exhale, lift the chest, lift the chin away from the chest. Now gently pull the abdomen in to help the lungs empty. Elbows might touch above the chest. Inhale through the nose. Elbows go widen up, keeping the shoulders soft. Expand the upper chest. Exhale. Lift the chin away from the chest. The weight is in the heels as you push the floor away with the feet gently. Empty the lungs. Inhale, head comes down. The slower we go, the more air we take in. Elbows widen up as the lungs fill at the top. Exhale. Lift the chest. Lift the chin. Feel the lengthening of the torso as the lungs empty. Elbows come together. Inhale. Getting the lungs to work in the opposite way they naturally want to. Expand the chest. Exhale. Feel that compression usually as we exhale, but this time we feel a lengthening. Elbows come together. Inhale, head down. Filling the lungs. Exhale, let the air tumble out of the mouth. Lift the chest, lift the chin away from the chest, lengthening the torso. Elbows touch, lungs empty. Inhale, last breath. Filling up the lungs, take another little sip of air and holding it at the top. Exhale, lift the chest, lift the chin away from the chest. Relax the head back, drawing the abdomen in. The palms touch and elbows come together at the end. Lungs empty, then floating the arms down by the side. From now on, the breath is in and out through the nose, as smooth and controlled as we can be, really letting that breath be the guide. Warming up with our warrior salute. So again, nice and gentle these movements. Steady breath, steady fluid movement over depth. Take a big step forward with the right leg, hip distance between the feet. Coming onto the ball of the back foot, we bend the right knee and sink the hips down. So your step might be smaller with a less of a bend in the knee. Otherwise, it might be bigger with a more of a bend in the knee. But we keep the hips even and the shoulders stacked over the hips. Arms, a few positions we can put them in. Hands together at heart space, focusing more on the spine, or arms extended up and over the head. thumbs across. We might just have the palms squeezing together, or something a little more steady with our grip is interlacing the fingers and releasing the index fingers. The arms over the head take us deeper into the shape as we extend the spine. So lift the chest, lift the chin. Option to relax the head back. And if the arms are overhead, they come up and back to take a little more depth in the shape. Feel that compression gently in the low back, nothing sharp, nothing pinching. And find that balance in the instability of the lower body. Inhale into the front of the lungs. Exhale, extending the spine. Change, come up with the upper body. Straighten the legs, bend the back knee, bring it to the floor, and untuck the back toes, making a box shape with the legs here. Chin to chest, draw the forehead toward the knee as you round down. Push the floor away with the tips of the fingers. You might separate the hands on either side of the foot. The breath is shallow, but keep it flowing and smooth. Inhale into the back of the lungs. Exhale, pull the abdomen towards the belly button. Pull everything in towards the spine. Hands come together, roll up bottom to top. Untucking the chin, lift the chest. Exhale, relax the head back. Keep the hips even. Arms up and arms back as we extend the spine. That breath flowing, is it still steady and smooth? Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, maybe reaching those arms back. Change, inhale, come up with the upper body. Right knee down, left foot forward. Tuck the back toes under and standing back up tall for the other side. Bend the left knee and sink the hips down. Again, left hip back a little, right hip forward. Find that stable balance with the lower body. Lifting the chest, lifting the arms. Exhale, relax the head back. Lifting the chin slightly away from the chest to feel that opening front side. Maybe coming a little higher on the ball of the back foot. Keep that bend in the front knee. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, extend the spine backwards. Keep breathing. With the next inhale breath, lift the upper body up. Straighten the legs, bend the back knee, and bring it to the floor. Untuck the back toes, chin to chest, exhale, curl down, roll down, forehead to the knee, as you might separate hands on either side of the foot. Inhale into the back of the lungs. Exhale, keep the chin glued to the chest as you round the back. Rounding the spine, opening the back line of the body. Exhale, compress the front side. Belly button pulls in towards the spine. Hands come back together if they came apart. Inhale, uncurl, bottom to top. Lift the chest, lift the chin. Exhale, relax the head back. Lift the arms up and arms back. If you're looking at a little more depth, keep the chest lifted, the weight even between the front foot and the back knee. One more smooth breath in. Stay for the exhale. Let the inhale bring you back up. Tuck the back toes under, stand up tall, back foot to the front, and exhale, stand tall, arms by your side. Standing in stillness, standing in Savasana, we take just a couple of breaths here to rebalance, regroup, so being mindful of your movements in between the shapes. This stillness is just as important as the energy we put into the asana. Moon salute. Inhale, arms over the head. Choose the grip with the hands, so maybe fingers are interlaced, releasing the index fingers, thumbs crossed. Maybe it's something different. You might even be holding onto a wrist. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. Exhale, arms and chest come over to the right. Hips gently push to the left, like you're bringing the chest up and over an invisible wall. Feel that lengthening all down the left side of the body. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that compression right side. The next inhale lifts you back up to center. If we're holding onto a wrist, we switch the hands over. Otherwise, keep squeezing those palms together. Inhale, length, lifting the chest. Exhale, arms and chest up and over to the left as you gently push the hips to the right. Nothing too forceful with the hips, just enough to create some resistance. Our hips and shoulders are even, so making sure we're not turning or twisting the spine, creating kinks. Pretending we've got a pane of glass stuck in front and in behind. Next, inhale, breath lifts the body up to center, backward bend. So maybe the palms are squeezing together, or maybe the hands come down to the heart space or the low back for a more supported version. Whatever your choice. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin, relax the head back. Keep the hips pushing forward, roll the weight into the heels. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, arms back, extend the spine. Is the breath smooth? Relaxing the belly so we can keep the chest up and find that curve of the spine. The hips stay strong. Inhale, exhale, backward bend. Letting the inhale lift you back up, drawing the belly in. The knees, we bring the hands to the floor. You can bend the knees, give the hips a little wiggle. Checking in with how the low back's feeling here. Nice little freeform movement. And when you're ready, place the soles or the palms flat on the floor. You can bend the knees quite heavily here. As you exhale, push the floor over with the hands, lift the hips. Feel a length along the back of the legs. And as you exhale, draw the forehead toward the knees, round the back. You can bend the knees as much as you need to, keeping that compression front side and the opening of the back line. Roll the weight towards the toes and the hands as you push the floor away with the palms of the hands, pushing down with all 10 fingers as well. One more smooth breath in. Exhale, forehead to knees. To come out, look forward, palms together, bend the knees, and come back up. Taking a big step with the legs, finishing our moon salute with some triangles. Reach the fingers in opposite directions. Right toes to the right. Bend the right knee and sink the hips down. Both heels are in alignment here, and the left toes are pointing straight ahead. We can take a big step with the legs and a big bend in the knee, or if we take a little step, we can take a small bend in the knee. We just want the knee and the ankle to be lined up. Keep the hips engaged, the glutes engaged. Inhale, and just move the arms. Right arm down, left arm up. Bring the right forearm to the inner knee. If we can keep the spine long, we might sink down a little deeper, bringing the elbow to the inner knee. So somewhere on that forearm. Head and chest back, look up. Reaching the left arm up and the right arm down. Opening the shoulders. Exhale, keep the rib cage pushing down so we're not curving it. Keep the abdomen gently pulling in and up. Find that power. To come out, look forward, come up with the arms. Straighten the right leg, right toes in. Left toes out, bend the left knee, sink the hips down. Other side, stay nice and low, grounded and strong in the hips, the legs. Inhale, just move the arms, left arm down, right arm up. Somewhere between the right wrist, the right elbow comes to the inner knee. Reaching the arms up and down. Keeping the spine long. Think of your body as a beautiful straight line or a straight stick being propped up on the bent left leg. Breathing into the center of the lungs. To come out, look forward, come up with the arms and the torso first. Straighten left leg, left toes in. Arms up over the head, heel and toe the feet to a medium step apart. Palms together, pick up the toes. Turn on the heels to the right. So front toes straight ahead. The back foot's a rough 45-degree angle to keep the hips in line and shoulders in line. As you exhale, pull the abdomen in, look forward and come down. Left hand on the floor on the inside of the right foot. Inhale, right arm opens the chest to the ceiling. Head and chest back and looking up. If this is a little strong, you might place the hand on the low back for a more supported version. Exhale, twist from the heart space. Change, right hand comes down, palms together, inhale, back up. Pick up the toes, turn to the left all the way for the other side, hips even, shoulders even, abdomen in. As you look forward, come down. You might bend the front knee a little to protect the joint. This time, right hand on the floor on the inside of the left foot. Inhale, left arm opens the chest to the ceiling. Hidden chest back and looking up. About 70% of the weight is in the bottom hand. Trying to keep left hip back and up, right hip forward and down so that the twist is in the torso more than the hips. Exhale, twist, twist. Change, left hand comes down, palms together, roll back up. Pick up the toes, we're turning all the way to the right. Same setup with the legs, the hips and the shoulders. Separate leg, head to knee, chin to chest, draw the abdomen in. Curl down, roll down, dive down to the floor. Fingertips push the floor away. Forehead to knee. Forehead and knee aren't touching. Bend the knee to meet the forehead. You might even separate hands on either side of the foot for a little more balance. Letting the weight come into the front leg. Back heel stays grounded down. Inhale into the back of the lungs. Exhale, pull the abdomen in towards the spine. Feel that strong compression front side. Change, hands together, rolling up bottom to top, untuck the chin last. Pick up the toes, turn all the way to the left for our last one. Hips even, shoulders even, back foot grounded down. Chin to chest. Curl down, roll down, dive down to the floor. Forehead to knee, fingers push the floor away with the fingertips. The arms are nice and straight and there's barely any weight in the hands. We're really actively pushing it away. Use your abdominal strength to lift the upper body, rounding the back. Eyes open. Keep the chin to the chest. Little sips of air flowing in and out through the nose. Stay with the sensations. To come out, hips push forward, roll up bottom to top, and tuck the chin. Pick up the toes, just a little quarter turn, bring the feet back together, float the arms down. Again, be mindful of your movements in between, resisting the urge to fidget. Just take that stillness here while we've got it. Moving on into Eagle, our balancing series. Identify right and left. I'll turn side on for this one just to show you that angle. Inhale, arms over the head. Exhale, right arm swings under the left, cross the arms at the elbows, thumbs point towards the face. As long as the elbows are crossed, that's the main thing. Aim to clasp the palms together. If they don't clasp, grab a thumb, make a fist with the fingers, or even hold opposite shoulders. Exhale, sit down in an invisible chair, lift the chest. Shift the weight into the left leg, right leg lifts, and cross the right thigh over the left. Squeeze the inner legs together. Maybe putting the right foot behind the left calf if the body allows. Otherwise, just point the toes the way they would like to go. Knees to the right, a little upper body to the left. You'll feel a little twist in the torso. Keeping the upper body upright, elbows down, chest forward. Find your stillness, your balance here. Feel the opening across the left side of the body. Change, inhale, arms up. Exhale, other side, left arm under the right. Cross the arms at the elbows, thumbs point to the face, clasp the palms. Elbows down, abdomen in, and sit down in your invisible chair. Weight into the right leg, left leg lifts, cross the thighs. Squeeze the inner legs together and maybe wrap the foot behind the calf. But focus on the hips and shoulders being in alignment as more of a priority than the foot. Squeeze the inner legs together tight. Hips back to help you sink down, lift the chest. Eyes gazing straight ahead on one point. Keep your balance. Change, inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Feeling that shift of energy from one side of body to the other. Standing hand to foot. Breaking these next few down into tiny little steps. Staying at your appropriate edge again where you can keep that engagement in the body and steady breath. Push the floor away with the left leg. Contract the left thigh. There's a tiny little bend in the left knee, but it's so small, no one knows it's there, but you do. Right leg lifts. This is a great step to be at, building up strength in your standing leg and hip. If we're looking to go any further, bringing the right hand to the right hip, grabbing the big toe with the left hand, extending the right leg forward. Now that right leg can be bent while we work through it. We want the right leg to be parallel to the floor, the thighs engage, the abdomen strong. So keep the chest lifted here. You might feel a little twist in the torso, and our gaze is straight ahead. Keep pushing the floor away with the pad of the standing foot to find that strength, that grounding. Change, bend the right knee, leg down, stand tall. Shift the weight into the right. Push the floor away with the right foot, the upper right leg's engaged, left leg lifts. Left hand on the left hip. Grab the big toe with the right hand. Extend the left leg forward. Keep the chest lifted. Notice how this side can feel quite different to the other. Are we able to maintain that grounding through the base of the big toe, the pinky, and the heel? Keeping that engagement front side of the body. If it's crept to the back, we've gone a little far, pull back a step. Change, bend the knee, leg down, arms down. Next shape is standing bow. Working on that still balancing, strengthening the standing leg. We're going to throw a back bend in there as well, just to spice it up. Right hander, elbow touching the body, thumb points back. Let the hand come down. Without turning the hand or twisting it, pick up the right ankle from the inside. Knees together, left arm up, reach to the ceiling. Push the floor away with the left foot. As you exhale, kick the right foot back and up. Kick, 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 kick. Create a beautiful back bend. When you can't kick anymore, tilt from the pelvis. Start bringing the belly down, but keep the chest high. Kicking the right foot up towards the ceiling, toward a standing split. Reaching the left fingertips away in the opposite direction of the right knee. Stretch forward, kick back. Find that balance between ease and effort here, between kick and stretch. Change, keep the leg down to come back up. Stand tall, feel that rush of energy inside. Moving on to the left hand up, thumb points back. Let the hand come down. We keep the palm facing out. Hold the left ankle from the inside. Knees come together, right arm up. Push the floor away with the right leg. And as you exhale, kick, 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 kick. Create a back bend here. Keep this beautiful back bend as you tilt the pelvis. Right arm nice and high next to the ear. As we push the sole of the left foot to the ceiling, try and keep the left hip down in line with the right one. You're going to feel this in the pelvis and the low back. Stretch forward, kick back, keep kicking. Check in with your standing leg. Are you grounding even through the pad of the foot? Is your standing thigh engaged? Kick up one more time, then change. Keep the leg down to come back up. Whew. Stepping to the back of the mat, balancing stick or engage front and back lines together. Inhale, arms over the head, interlace the fingers, release the index fingers, thumbs crossed. Step forward with the right foot. Hips push forward, lift the chest, glue the arms to the ears, engage the legs. Exhale, tilt, tilt, tilt from the pelvis. As the body comes down, the leg comes up until the body is parallel to the floor. Keep the arms squeezing together. Point the left toes back. And if the low back's not happy, hands to the heart space or to the standing thigh for support. Trying to come parallel to the floor with the body. Stretch, stretch, change, slowly come back up. Keeping the arms there if we can, step forward with the left foot. Hips push forward, lift the chest, our center of gravity is all in that front leg. And as you exhale, tilt, start coming down. We can only come down as far as we can keep an equal stretch in opposite directions. So we're only coming down a few degrees, but we're in a straight line. We get 100% benefits. Again, maybe shifting the hands allows you a little more depth. So keep the hips in line, abdomen pulling in. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Change, inhale, back up. Floating the arms down. Heart's pumping, lungs are working. Are we still? we stay with all the sensations. Separate leg stretching. Now we take a big step with the legs. Heels in line. The toes might be turned in towards you a little, or just have the toes straight ahead. Arms reach in opposite directions. Contract the triceps, but keep the neck soft here. Exhale, abdomen pulls in as you look forward. Come down with a long spine. Hands on the floor in front of you. Keep that length in the back, so you can bend the knees here if that helps. Aiming to grab the ankles from the outside. Our grip might still be on the calves, might still be hands on the floor. If you feel an opening on the back of the legs, you're absolutely doing it. Wherever we have our grip, exhale, roll the weight to the toes, lift the hips as you gently pull. Exhale, reach the chest, the head down to the floor. Let the chest lead you though. Exhale, fold from the pelvis. If the legs are straight, you might bend the elbows towards the shins for a little more depth. Inhale, length. Exhale, fold. Maybe the top of the head touching the floor between the big toes. To come out, look forward, arms out to the side, squeeze the shoulder blades together and reverse swan dive back up. Heel and toe the feet to a small step apart, arms over the head, and as you step the feet together, float the arms down. Stand tall. Coming into tree pose and two stand, we'll combine them together in this class today. Shift the weight into the left leg. Lift the right leg. Right knee out a little bit, and feel this as a rotation of the hip as you hold the foot from underneath with the left hand. Heel close to the groin and guide the knee back gently. You should feel an opening of the inner leg and the hip. Our half lotus tree, our intention, our focus is all about the hip. So if the knee's not happy, place the foot on the inner leg instead. Same hip opener benefits, same balance. Hands might come to the heart space one by one. If the foot slips away from the groin, keep holding on with the hand. Lengthen through the crown of the head and find your stillness here. Any toe standers in the room, your heel must stay at the groin all by itself before we think about this next part. It's perfectly fine to stay in tree. Otherwise we bend the knee, hinge from the hips, bring the fingers to the floor. Coming onto the ball of the foot, we sit down, resting the heel under the opposite hip. Hands on either side of the body, lengthen through the fingertip. You might bring hands to the heart space one by one. Otherwise, the fingers might remain on the floor for support. Wherever you are, find your stillness here. Steady breath, steady focus. To come out, hands to the floor, straighten the leg, draw the abdomen in as you come back up. You keep that tiny bend in the knee to protect the joint. Lift the right leg down, arms down. For the other side, I'm just going to turn to show you from a different angle. We'll shift the weight into the right leg, left leg lifts. Feel this as a rotation in the left hip and hold the foot from underneath. Heel to the groin, guide the knee back. Hands to the heart space. And here we are for tree. So keep pushing the floor away with the pad of the standing foot. Keep length through the crown of the head. And again, any toe standers, we first want your heel to stay at the groin all by itself. You might hinge from the hip and bend the knee. Coming down, fingers to the floor. Sit down, resting the heel under the opposite hip. Hands to either side of the body. You might bring the hands to the heart space one by one. Knees draw toward each other to activate the pelvic floor. Wherever you are, notice where the breath fills the lungs. Eyes steady. And breathe. To come out, hands on the floor in front of you. Straighten the leg. And come back up. Lifting the left knee. Leg down, arms down. Thanking your body for its hard work in the standing series. Always honor your practice. We'll come down for a little arm balance and then head to the floor. With crow, our gateway into inverting and arm balancing, we want to be mindful of the wrists here. Feet hip distance to shoulder distance apart. We bend the knees, place the hands on the floor. You can start by gently pushing the floor away with the hands, leaning forward, checking in with the wrists, maybe rocking back and forth. This might be as far as we go. If we're going to explore taking flight and the wrists are happy, come onto the balls of the feet. Bend the elbows, make a little shelf with the backs of the upper arms, and bring the knees in toward the armpits. Let that weight roll forward into the hands once again. There's barely any weight in the toes. Chin away from the chest, lift one toe off the floor, maybe bring it back down, and then the other might come up. If you're feeling like taking flight, you keep the chest forward, the weight forward in the hands, maybe both big toes come off the floor. Big toes come together, hips, heels go towards the hips, and keep pushing the floor over the hands, using your abdominal strength and your hips to lift you here. Keep breathing. The breath is shallow. Find your flight. And then when you're ready, gently coming back down to the floor. We'll lie down on the back. We might take some leg lifts today, which are very strengthening for the abdomen, the core, and help us in all of our postures, especially when we're trying to take flight in crow and our arm balances. So having the arms down by the side, legs together, point the toes, contract the thighs so the legs are nice and engaged. The low back gently pushing in the floor. As you exhale, lifting the legs off the floor and bring them about 45 degrees. Your abdominal strength is here to help you as well, so make sure the abdomen's strong. You hold for a few more seconds. Just the breath steady. And then slowly lowering the legs down. Nice and controlled. Soften them for a moment and we'll take 2 more rounds here. Engage the legs, point the toes. Gently push the floor over the hands. Keep the abdomen strong as the legs lift. And 45 degrees off the floor. Breath flowing, and slowly lowering the legs down. Last one, engage the legs, contract the thighs, point the toes, inhale, legs lift up. Strengthening the psoas, the hip flexors, the abdomen. And slowly coming down. Softening completely. Let the body melt down. Well-deserved Savasana. Letting the breath be what it wants to be. But if it's a little shallow, you might extend the exhale slightly. Scanning the body, is there any tension still lingering we can let go of? Coming into wind removing pose. With the right leg, interlace the fingers on the shin, cross the thumbs. Draw the right knee to right chest, right shoulder. When you have resistance with the arms, push the hips down to the floor. Nothing sharp or pinching in the hip. You want to feel compression in the low belly. Breathing smooth, breathing steady here. Change. Let the right leg go down. Left leg comes up. Same interlace grip on the shin. Cross the other thumb on top and draw the left knee down towards the left chest, left shoulder. Gently pushing the hips down. And keep the left foot soft. Relax the left foot. You might extend the right heel away from the body to ground the right leg and calf down. Breathing into the low belly. Change. Left leg comes down, soften the fingertips. And now both legs come up at the same time. We aim to grab the opposite elbows over the legs, curling up in a tight ball. Your ball might be looser, you might be holding the wrists or one hand on each shin. Feet together relaxed. As you exhale, sink the hips down. Relax the shoulders down towards the floor as well. feeling a traction along the spine. Let the breath be deep. So each inhale, massaging your abdominal organs. Exhale, sink the hips. To come out, we bend the knees, we keep the knees bent as the soles of the feet come to the floor. Let the legs come down, soften everything. Feel the energy returning to the hips, the abdomen. We're going to take a sit up here. Bringing the heels together and flexing the feet. Contract the thighs. Chin to chest, shoulders off the floor. Reach the hands to the feet. Inhale, arms to the ears. Feel the abdomen engage. And as you exhale, roll up. Fold in half as you grab the toes, elbows down. Turn around, lie on the belly. Our back strengthening and kicking off with cobra. Quite a low cobra, engaging the back. Hands under the shoulders, close to the chest. Stretch the elbows down towards the hips. Push the tops of the feet down, contract the thighs. The legs nice and stable here. As you exhale, peel the chest off the floor, using your glutes in the back. Keep stretching the elbows down towards the hips, like you're going to slide the body forward, like the chest is going to move forward, but without going anything. Chin might be away from the chest as you look up, come up, and slowly come down. We'll take our variation of half locust, hands down to the floor, palms flat, thumbs to the outside. Legs might be together or a little gap between them. Point the toes, engage the legs. Take a deep breath. Head, chest, shoulders off the floor, legs off the floor as well, so the weight is in the hands and the hips. Point the toes back, draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Keep breathing little sips of air. Chest up, look up, legs up, lift up. Change, slowly come down. For full locust, arms out to the side. Reach the fingers in opposite directions. Legs might be together or a little gap. Contract the thighs. So we're shooting the energy out of the ends of fingertips and the toes. Exhale, arms, head, legs, chest. Everything's off the floor now. Balancing on the hips. Chest up, shoulder blades together. Lifting up, look up, come up. Keep breathing, use your entire back of the body. Change, slowly come down. Bow pose. If bow's a little strong for the back, another one of our locust or cobra will fit just perfectly instead. Otherwise, bend the knees, grab the feet from the outside. Hip distance between the knees, feet, Take a deep breath. Shoulders stay relaxed, arms stay straight. We kick the feet up into our finger grip. So no pulling with the arms. Roll the weight into the pelvis. Kicking back, kicking up. Feel the opening of the chest. Breath is shallow, but keep it flowing. Soften the forehead, the jaw. Kick back, kick up. Change, slowly come down. Turn the head to one side. Relax one ear to the mat and arms soften down. What do we notice along the length of the spine? Sometimes we have our savasana or a rebound in between each and every shape. And other times, like now, we put a few together. And then when we take that savasana, we find this rebound sensation is quite amplified. With the belly breath, massage the low back here. Come back to steady exhales. And when you're ready, place the hands under the shoulders, close to the chest. Tuck the toes under, contract the thighs. We're doing a little push-up, or however a push-up looks to you, to sit down on the heels in the center of the mat. Fix firm. This is the first shape, exactly as we are, feeling a gentle opening of the ankles and the tops of the knees. If it's painful, we come forward. And then we can choose if and when we ever decide to bring the hips back and sit upright. If this is comfy, If we want a little more, then only do we separate the feet and sit between the heels. The hips coming comfortably to the floor in between the heels. Spine tall. If the hips are still in the air, we stay here, we let gravity do the work. Otherwise, we go back a previous step. If this is comfy, we're looking for a little more. Hands on the feet, fingers forward. Come down to the elbows one by one. Keep the weight in the elbows, the chest high. Now your bum must be on the floor if we're reclining. So keep the tailbone tucked under a little bit. Relax the head back of the head to the floor, shoulders to the floor. Eventually the whole upper body is reclined down and relaxed. Again, if the knees are twisting or not happy, go back a step or take a savasana, you can skip it. If we're reclined comfortably, arms over the head, hold the opposite elbows, relax the arms. You feel that lengthening along the front line of the body. Come out, hands onto the feet, use the help of the elbows to come back up. Try not to turn or twist the spine as we rise. Hands on the floor next to the legs, push the floor away. So lift the hips, take the weight off the legs, and come back to sitting on the heels. You might already feel a little rush of blood to the toes there. Inhale, arms over the head, palms together, cross the thumbs. Exhale, chest forward beyond the knees. Keep the hips with the heels, fingers to the floor, head relaxes down as well. So chin away from the chest. The forehead might touch the floor, it might be hanging in the air. Keep the palms squeezing together, the arms straight, and wrists in the air. You might get some benefit from bending the elbows slightly. So choosing the position with the arms that gets into the sticky spots in the back and the shoulders. Exhale, sink the hips to the heels. The most important part here is getting the blood away from the legs and the lower body and into the brain for our circulation. Very calming for the body and the nervous system. To come out, knees together, hips with the heels, arms with the ears. Inhale all the way back up and up, down. It's also a lovely forward fold after our backward bend. Standing up on the knees, camel pose. Get distance between the knees and the feet. We want to make sure there's that nice gap to allow space in the low back. Hips forward. Stack the hips on top of the knees. We keep them there. Hands on the hips, thumbs to the floor. Or thumbs to the outside, I should say, fingers to the floor. We draw the elbows toward each other, so feel that opening of the chest. Hips forward. Feel this in the hip flexors. Inhale, lift the chest. The belly's fairly relaxed here, but keep the chest up and hips forward. Exhale, with the chest, the chin might come up away from the chest as you relax the head back. Couple of breaths here. You might bring the hands down to the heels one by one, fingers inside, thumbs outside. If the body does not like this, go back to hands on the hips. If the head doesn't like relaxing back, keep it upright. Just keep the neck soft wherever we put the head. Eyes open, looking behind you, always looking to the back of the room. Hips forward. Inhale, lift the chest, draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Feel that opening front side. Slowing down the breath. We find a stillness in the eye of the storm. Exhale, lift the chest. To come out, hands on the hips, we roll back up and sit down on the heels. Bring up all kinds of weird and wonderful things that can be very calming to the body once it trusts that we're safe in the shape. Rabbit, chin to chest, look at your belly. Hands on the heels, fingers on the outside of the heels, and thumbs. The thumbs are on the outside of the heels, I should say. We want it to be the same grip as our camel. The fingers are just resting on the soles of the heels underneath the feet. We've got the belly pulled in, chin glued to the chest. We keep it there as we curl up, forehead to knees. Exhale, grab the heels and lift the hips. Weight comes into the arms, the thighs become perpendicular, shoulders away from the ears. So as you exhale, squeeze the arms into the legs to activate the chest, round the back to the sky. Exhale, pull, lift the hips. Little weight in the head. It actually Quite nice to let it hover off the floor slightly. Press the forehead toward the knees, chin to chest, round the back. Keep breathing. Change. Pull the hips back down to the heels, uncurl the spine. Get up, flex. We'll roll the weight over to one side, legs out in front. Head to knee. Right leg out, bend the left leg. Create pressure from the left foot against the right inner thigh. Arms up over the head. Turn to the right, tuck the chin to the chest, glue it there. Exhale, roll down, curl down, forehead to knee. Fingers interlaced at the ball of the foot. Cross the thumbs on top of the foot so we're not tempted to pull with the neck or shoulders. Forehead and knee aren't touching, bend the knee up to meet the forehead. If your leg is straight, then only bend the elbows down and roll into the midline. So think left elbow down, left shoulder down, a little more than the right. We just want to make sure the spine is rounding evenly over the leg. So it might mean forehead to knee, it might mean right temple to the inner right knee. Change. Inhale and curl back up. Switching over the legs, so left leg out, right foot comes in. Turn to the left, tuck the chin, and curl down, roll down, forehead to knee. Interlace the fingers at the ball of the foot. Again, don't forget, you can bend the knee up to meet the forehead if you need to. Pressing the front side and rounding the back is our intention. If your leg is straight, we might bend the elbows down, hugging the elbows in and around the calf, and maybe rolling into the midline just a little. Exhale, forehead to knee. Draw the abdomen in towards the spine, round the back. Exhale, fold. Change, uncurl, bottom to top. We'll bring the legs out in front and lie down on the back for a little sit-up. Heels touch, flex the feet. Chin to chest, shoulders off the floor. Reach the hands to the feet. Inhale, arms to the ears. Exhale, roll up, curl up, grab the toes, fold in high. Each sit-up that we do, the more effort, attention we put there, the more we get out of stretching our next posture. Make 2 peace fingers with the hands. Grab the big toes with the peace fingers, palms face each other. Lift the chest, spine long to begin, nice straight back. So you might bend the knees a little to get there. From here we work on straightening the legs over time, keeping the chest high. Flex all 10 toes back towards you. Inhale, length. Exhale, maybe bending the elbows to go a little deeper. Folding from the pelvis, so really feel this movement from the pelvis. Inhale, exhale, maybe folding. Let the breath work with you here. Patience and persistent when it comes to stretching the hamstrings. Nothing sharp at the attachment sides. Feel this in the belly of the muscles. Exhale, fold. You might keep a flat back or choose to explore rounding the spine by letting the forehead come to the knees. This might take the sensation further up the back on either side of the spine. So go to where the body's calling you. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Slowly coming back up. And go into spine vertebra by vertebra. Separate leg stretching. Opening the legs. As wide as we can go is not necessarily the best. So if we already feel like we're falling backwards, hands on the floor behind you, and keeping the chest up. So shoulders above the hips. Flex the feet, so toes point to the ceiling, thighs are engaged, so the legs are nice and strong here. If you want to come further, hands on the floor in front. Walking the fingers forward, we fold the body forward, keeping the spine long as priority. So this time we fold the pelvis over the legs. You might come to the forearms, trying to keep the chest lifted. You might stay on the fingertips. You might have more space to bring the chest down to the floor. Keep those legs active. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, exhale, fold. Change, slowly come back up. Using the hands to close the legs like you're closing a book. And we'll come into our spinal twist. Bending the left knee. Bringing the left heel towards the right hip. Right foot over the left knee corner. Heel and knee touch. We're going to bring the right hand behind the back for our half spinal twist. Left arm, few options. First is to hug around the outer right leg. Second, bring the left elbow over the knee, using the elbow as a lever. The third and deepest is turn the wrist, grab the left knee with the left hand. Exhale, turn and twist, look over the right shoulder. And twist the spine from the bottom to top. Exhale, twist from the heart space. Inhale, length through the crown of the head. Exhale, twist, twist, gently twisting. Change, unravel. Bring the weight back, we'll switch over the legs. Right knee underneath, left foot over the right knee corner. So again, if the leg's not happy, that bottom leg can just be straight out in front. This time, left hand behind the back. Choose the option with the right arm, so maybe we're hugging the left leg, maybe the elbow coming over as a lever, or turning the wrist and grabbing the right knee with the right hand. Pick which one allows you to lift the chest and keep the spine long. Exhale, twist, 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 gently looking over the left shoulder. You should feel a compression in the abdomen as well. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist, twist, twist. Change, unravel. Turn around, lie on the back for a reclining twist. Hugging the knees into the chest. Keeping the right knee hugged in, left leg comes to the floor. Left hand guides the right knee across to the left. It doesn't have to come near the floor, it doesn't have to go anywhere near there. Instead, we want the right shoulder to stay on the floor. Right arm out to the right. Keep pressure on the right leg with the left hand, and as you exhale, feel a twist in the abdomen. Twist, twist. Change, draw the abdomen in, knees back to center, hugging the knees in. Keeping the left leg in, right leg extends down. Right hand guides the left knee across to the right, keeping the left shoulder on the floor, left arm out to the side. Exhale, feel a gentle twist in the abdomen, using your right hand as leverage on the top of the left leg. You can turn the head towards the left as well, or just let it stay wherever's comfortable. Exhale, twist. Change. Hugging the knees into the chest. And taking the time to come back up to a comfortable seat, maybe rocking along the spine a few times. Come back up to a comfortable seated position. Our final breathing exercise, fire breath. Sitting on the heels, otherwise any comfortable seat will work. We're going to exhale out the mouth forcefully as we snap the belly in, exhaling all the air out the mouth. Then we relax the belly, relax the breath, allowing the inhale to happen naturally. So the more effort we put into the exhale, the more forceful it is, the more space it makes to allow the inhale to just come in by itself. Very normal to feel a little lightheaded or dizzy, but it prepares us for a stronger savasana at the end, clearing out the respiratory system and removing the carbon dioxide. Hands on the knees, lift the chest spine tall, lick the lips, swallow a couple of times and just let the belly hang out. Let it all hang out here, we're all friends. And begin. Five, four, three, two, one, and finish. Very normal to feel a little lightheaded, a little dizzy. Next set's a little faster, but just keep your pace, your breath. Let the lips swallow, keep the spine tall, airways clear. And begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and finish. And it's coming to the art space. Bow the head to seal off your practice. Thanking yourself. Stepping up. Keep the eyes closed down. Lie down on the back for Savasana. The next few minutes are all yours to soften completely and take awareness within. Letting the exhale melt the body down. Is there any little movements to become even the tiniest bit more comfortable? The breath, whatever it wants to be here. Feeling of letting go as the exhale, that slight pause at the end before the energy shifts and pivots into an inhale, that uplifting sensation, then pause. Notice the energy shifting back to the exhale. Noticing that shift and pivot of the breath. Feeling a warmth, a heaviness wash over the body. Letting it open your heart. Open your mind. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Feeling free to stay in Savasana as long as you need. You might decide to invite gentle movements into the fingers and the toes. Slowly waking the body back up. You might increase these movements into circles of the wrists and the ankles. Maybe even reaching the arms overhead as you stretch the legs in opposite direction. Full body awakening. And taking the time to soften down once more. And you might choose to come up to a comfortable sit. Wherever that position looks, notice where the legs, the sit bones come into contact with the mat. Spine nice and tall. Hands to the heart space and bow the head. Honoring that light, that wisdom within. Namaste.